Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue unpacking some Chinese amazing beauty descriptors. And I've been going over some, and it forced me into thinking deeper as to why these characters are put together to coin this expression to describe the beauty of women mostly. Okay, 花容月貌. We have the flower, the moon. Can you imagine a culture depict the beauty of its idealized beauty standard on women mostly with flower and the moon? I guess it's very relatable because in English, a lot of such romantic type of poetry would evoke the imagery of flower and moon in romanticizing activity. So does Chinese. It's universal, I guess, because both flower and the moon have this quality, almost like a gender quality, because the moon, in opposition to the sun means young, means bright, in your face type of energy, right? Versus the moon is reflective, it's subtle, it's indirect, it's a power of in. So it's more female power. It's more related to female reading, right? Even if it's a celestial body, both of them. But yeah, one is solar, one is just what is it called? 行星. Okay. Anyways, I forgot the name for the, but hua, okay. Hua, first off, it's a reproductive organ for the plant. So when you compare a woman's blossoming to a flower's blooming, there is a connection, logical connection over there, because when women present their prime time beauty, it's comparable to flowering because that's when they're ready to mate, to reproduce, right? To have the best look in their life, so to speak. Okay, today it's not politically correct, but culturally that was depicted as, using the flower that's within your time span, right? Probably a very short time is the flowering season, as the lifespan growing from the seed to all the way have the fruit bearing and pass away. All that only a very short time window is your flowering season. And Chinese use that flower to depict the type of beauty which represent the prime time of woman's beauty. Okay, we have hua, trident looking thing. Two of them paired together simply means it's plant based, something related to plant. Two layers of petal. Actually, there are four of them. For Chinese to mean multitudes of things, usually two is enough. Occasionally, we use three of them stacked up together, means a lot, lots already. And now there are four petals together stacking up, really means layers and layers of flower petals. That means a flower really blooming. It shows all its petals. Okay, and this shape simply is the pollen pole. I mean, how visual is that? And the horizontal line there could be the pollen pole's connector to the plant itself. But Chinese have this superpower to represent something in reality by just frame it in a very small detail. So in this case, we don't draw out the whole flower. We just draw the petals and the pollen pole, and it's attached to the plant. The rest of the plant is like omitted. We don't need to see other parts of it. We just zoom in on the key features of flowers. So I guess it's called a primary component analysis linguistically. It's boil down the essence of things, whatever things it's trying to represent, to the key few visually identifiable features. So flowers, we have poles and petals. Now, the bottom of it is a puff of air from your lungs. And then this horizontal line is the blocker of the tongues, the tongues, teeth, lips, the mouth chamber, this sound making apparatus to create a speaking And so this speaking sign is somehow brought into the flower. And in a few episodes ago, I reasoned it as, okay, actually the flowering is the language of the plant. It's blooming, it sends out the message of pollinizing ready, right? Same as human speaking. That's our communication. That's our way of telling the world what we want, versus flower is the language of the plant. Okay. Therefore, this combination of flower. Now, yue, let's finish the yue actually is a crescent moon. So because majority of the time the moon exists in its less than full moon form, right? So majority of the time we don't see a full moon. And therefore Chinese actually depict the moon in a less than full state of being. So I guess this kind of omega looking or question mark looking shape is the outer sphere, the edge of the moon. And then here, this first line kind of enclose it to mean it's less than full. So it's somewhere cut over there. And then the middle line that's not in touch with anywhere, kind of floating in that sphere, is similar to the sun symbol. We have the sphere, which is full because the sun never have this half full status. The sun is always full, right? It's very in your face, always full existence. And the sun also have a horizontal line in it. That means energy from it, emitting energy. And I guess in ancient times, people don't really know the moon actually is a reflector of the sunlight. Therefore, they also view this reflective light as the light source itself, as if it itself is emitting a different quality of light. So this energy bar inside show us not only the shape, but it has the light coming out of it. Okay, so flower and the moon. Now we have a rong and a mao. Rong and mao they are similar. So I have to translate it differently. So rong, I use it as a face. The rong, a few episodes ago, we talked about this. It's the arch with a chimney. That means empty room. So it's a shelter. It's a human built space. So we have a bunch of characters that's related to caveman living quarters. But now we remove the cave part of it, and it became a human built shelter, self-standing shelter. Then we have the valley symbol, which is the 4 strokes, means the trickling of the water, kind of water, early stage of water formation or showing through the mountains before it can join together to form a streak, a stream or creek streak, okay? And we have the mouth symbol over there to mean the entrance to something. So it depicts, the whole thing depicts a valley, the entrance to the mountains, and the mountains have the water start to form. And that gives you a sense of space that's good to produce, because the valley probably is a nutrition rich, at least it's a water rich place that you can build your habitat, right? So both of them are habitat aware. So one is this shelter thing with a chimney, and the other is a farmable land. Both of them combined together means the capacity. So I guess the empty room, capacity to be filled to your personal space desired personal space, and the valley means the area, the land that's ready to be used to produce food. So both of them are, hopeful and with a lot of potential for you to fill that out, to create something out of it. So that's the capacity. And eventually this rong was also used almost like topography. Is it called topography? Like the countenance of the land or countenance of the face. So it's like the surface, highs and lows of a surface. that makes sense too, right? Because both of them are talking about space and the surface quality, the rise and drops, the highs and lows of the surface of a space, either on a human face or on a piece of land. We can use this character. Okay, that's 容. I guess that's the surface contour of the face. Okay, and the 貌, on the other hand, is a little bit different. It's actually I call it a look. It invokes the sense of you're reading the vibe. So if this face is static, like you just draw out the contour of something, it's a physical, spatial sense. But here, the 貌 is actually an energy sense. It's like whatever that thing emitting, this energy, this vibe, right? This energy passing between two entities. The reason why is we have a human on the right side, 2 legs, side profile view with a big head on the top. That means, it's zoomed in human head, versus on the left side is actually a leopard or any kind of beast that with 4 legs with its oversized head over there. So 2 big-headed. This is human. This is a beast. They're put side by side together. What do you think is going to happen? That's a scene, almost like a hunting scene. So who is the predator? Who is the prey? Who is going to become the food? So that gives you a heightened sense of there is this food chain order arranging thing. Like you're either become somebody's food or you become a predator to hunt that food. And so this beast versus human side by side reading, that eventually extended into this look. It's almost like you as a hunter, as a human, you put it in the survival mode. You have to be able to correctly read the vibe of that beast. Is it the time to kill, or you better get out of there? So that vibe reading then becomes the look. So now we have 花容月貌. We use the flower to depict the physical contour of the face, the look, the physical look. And then we use the moon, which does have this reflective light coming out of it to mean the energy, the vibe. So paired together, 花容月貌 depicts this young look that have the beauty of the flower and also have this almost seductive, this moonlight quality that gives you the vibe to almost like inviting, right? And non-aggressive in an inviting way for you to explore. So both the flower and the moon gives you the physical sense and the energetic sense of a person, young person's existence. The young person is because it's a flower, it's temporary. So to find a corresponding illustration of 花容月貌, I translate it as young and beautiful, but for the reading, it's about the look and the vibe of this young being. I find this movie because Chinese translate this movie into 花容月貌, even if I couldn't find a corresponding translation that slap the Chinese 花容月貌 on top of this poster, but this is the translation. So I guess somebody took some thinking as to how to translate this. And this June and Jolie is a French, means young and pretty. So young and pretty, I guess these two are highly correlated, right? Culturally, this is French movie. I guess in America, last episode we'll talk about Lolita. This phenomenon of tying beauty to usefulness is universal, right? So just like that, Chinese also use 花容月貌 to depict the look and the vibe of a young flowering young person. Okay, so that's today's expression. 花容月貌 catching to the appearance, thinking by one word a day, 为 self-examined.